Such an honor, especially on 4th of July and with an airplane iconic as FIFI, our one of two only flying B-29 Superfortress left in the world. Yeah, these airplanes, I'm just the pilot that gets to kind of drive the boat, but it takes an enormous team of people. We got 20 to 25 people touring with us at any time, maintaining the airplanes on a daily basis. As an airline pilot, I like to say it's the best and most maintained airplane I ever get to fly, and they really do take that kind of attention to detail because you can't afford not to. It's especially it not being wartime, we never have to fly, we never have to go anywhere. No, like you said, nobody's shooting at us. So if the airplanes aren't in perfect shape, we're not gonna take them out and fly them. So one of my favorite phrases as far as our maintainers go is mechanics because pilots need heroes too. We just kind of check the weather and drive the airplane, but these planes don't move without the hundreds and thousands of hours of volunteer labor we get from mechanics and general helpers, making sure they're maintained in the best condition possible and clean and displayed in the best condition possible. I'm sure you saw as soon as we parked and got it here, there was an army of people with rags, making sure we can present her in the way that she deserves. So it's extra special. It kind of puts into perspective what being in some of the huge formations of hundreds of these airplanes might have been like in wartime. In modern day times, for good reason, there's a little extra training and some extra qualifications that we have to carry to be able to do that. And to be able to show the airplanes off together like that is something that we're always proud to do when the opportunity presents itself. And I think we just briefed that we're looking forward to doing that a little bit more on our way out of here when we leave. Spent a lot of time in the central Ohio area here and been to the museum literally dozens of times since I was a kid, and one of my favorite places on the planet, and to get to bring a piece of living history to visit some iconic historical artifacts is a very special day indeed. I grew up just an airport brat, hanging out especially glider ports with my dad. He's been flying since he was a teenager, so I grew up around small airplanes and classic old airplanes, and it's all I know how to do. It's all I've ever wanted to do and all I've ever wanted to be a part of. As a kid, I was collecting a lot of just toy airplanes like most kids like to have, but I particularly have one of FIFI that my parents found 2 years ago with the propeller blades all trued off and everything, and very well-loved little die-cast B-29 that last year I got to take for a flight with me in my flight suit pocket, and that was a pretty special kind of full-circle moment. As you're talking about how to get involved, when we're touring here, well, I'm sure we'll have a lot today, small kids out here. I tell them, there's no reason that in 10 years they can't be the ones flying this airplane. It's all about, it's a little bit of right place, right time, and a little bit of networking, but it's a lot about heart and dedication and just showing up. It's amazing if you just show up and put a little elbow grease in and show that you're passionate about it. The opportunities that open up are endless, and you might get to fly B-29 into the Air Force Museum someday. So it's attitude, aptitude, and availability is what it takes to get to do this. We're open here for tours. The cockpit of the B-29 is available. You'll enter through the forward bomb bay, get to see the forward cockpit, the radio operator station, the navigator station, and of course the pilot flight engineer stations and everything, and then exit through a ladder in the nose wheel. The B-24 is open kind of nose to stern. You'll enter through a door in the back and get to go all the way to the cockpit and then all the way almost to the tail gun on our ground static tours. Just for balance reasons, we don't want it to teeter-totter too much while we're sitting on the ground. But and then of course full static, able to walk up and touch the airplane, in the entire footprint, and the chance to get some souvenir oil stains on your t-shirt. So these airplanes have to pay for themselves. The Commemorative Air Force is a nonprofit, all volunteer-driven organization. We have about 170 some airworthy airplanes scattered all over the country. And the main way they pay for themselves is through tours like we're doing out here in this weekend in Springfield, and also ride flights. So after our visit here at the museum, we're going to be next door at the Springfield-Beckley Airport Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we'll have rides available in both the B-29, the B-24, and our smaller airplanes as well, like the T-6. Stearman P-51 and a Twin Beach should be over there as well. So the opportunity to experience living history firsthand. 30-minute flight on a sunny day can let your imagination wander into what it might have been like doing a 12-hour mission and getting shot at on a not so sunny day. So it's a great way to really connect with what they had to do in the 1940s in these airplanes. It's a big airplane. There's no hydraulic boost like a lot of airplanes its size that came right after it. So it is all cable, pulley-driven controls. So the controls are heavy. And there's a little bit of reaction time. Nothing happens super fast, but it's still a Boeing, and Boeing builds good airplanes, so it's very stable, very solid. We can trim it out and fly it hands off, and it really is a true, good, honest flying airplane.